Just to review a few of the halachas according to the Rambam in cases of accidental murder. We mentioned before that there are different types of accidental murder. On the timeline of murder, we have, in terms of the levels of intent, we have right in the middle the classic shogeg, where it's a perfectly unintentional, and then we have a level where it's karov l'mezid, where it's closer to being intentional. There's greater negligence, and at times there's something which is really karov l'ones, which is totally closer to being beyond your control, and therefore patur entirely. So we're going to be looking right now at a bunch of cases in the Rambam and trying to identify what exactly the halacha would be in different cases. So let's go through this together. Let's try to quickly read through it. Ketzad hazorek even rishus harabim v'harga usoser koslo rishus harabim. Person throws a stone into the public domain, or he breaks a wall into the public domain. V'nafla even umisa, and that stone kills person. Ve'in shesasur bayom, ve'in shesasur balayla hareza karov l'mezid. Says the Rambam, that is considered to be karov l'mezid. We would not be exempt from that. Rather, you would be able to get killed and by the goel hadam. Number 2, Sasru la'ashra b'layla im harabim mitzuyan ba hareza karov l'mezid. Person, he throws garbage at night into Rishus Harabim, a place where people are normally found. That is, and someone trips on it and dies. That's karov l'mezid. That's close to intentional. If the eino niklat, and he's not going to be absorbed literally by the miklat, he can't go there. Number 3, im ein harabim mitzuyan ba b'klal. If no one's found there, hareza karov l'ones. If no one's found there and you threw it there, a place where it's a public area, that is called closer to being an ones. Upatur min galus, you'd be exempt from galus. Why would that be? Again, person, public area, has to look where he's going. Number 4, hasoneh shaharg b'shgaga eino niklat. A person who's a soneh, an enemy who kills someone by accident, he would not go to their miklat. Shenemar b'hu lo oyev v'lo hazakaso shu karov l'mezid. Why? Because the Rambam, because we consider it to be close to a mezid. We assume that there is some kind of intent there. What is considered to be a enemy? That's a person that you deliberately didn't speak to for 3 days because of hatred. Continues the Rambam. Similarly, if a person enters a keren zavis, he goes around a corner, and he kills someone either unintentionally, or you push someone by walking with one's body. Or you tried to throw 2 and mistakenly went further and went 4. Or omer mutter, a person thought it's mutter to kill. Or you were trying to kill one person and by mistake you killed someone else. Even if you're trying to kill a non-Jew or behema or an animal, v'nimsa Yisrael, all these are considered to be closer to being a mezid. They're considered intentional, relatively speaking, and you would not be allowed to enter a mirklat. So just as an interesting point, please note for yourselves that both niskavein laharog shtayim zark arba is included in this list of those that would not go to an mirklat, as well as the omer mutter is something that the Rambam's writing would not be able to go to an mirklat. Okay, just note those points. Continues the Rambam. Number 9. You entered someone's property without their permission, Vahargo, and he kills you. He kills you by accident. He is exempt from galus, from being exiled. Person enters the store of a carpenter without permission. Benitza bikas utachva lo alpanav, and a shard, a piece of wood, when he's cutting, hits the guy who's walking by his face. Umes patur megalus. That person dies. The splinter enters the person's eye and kills them. Right? He's exempt from galus. The person who killed by accident, the owner of the store. Im nichnas bershus hareza golo. If a person entered with permission to the store and he was killed by the carpenter, then the murderer, would go into galus. Number 11, person who was raising a barrel. To a roof. So he was raising up a barrel, right, to the roof, and the rope snapped, and it collapsed on his friend. Oh, shahaya olo besulam, a person was climbing a ladder, but nafal chaver b'hargo, and as he was climbing up, he fell off the ladder. Pater min galus, he would be exempt from galus. Why, says the Rambam, shezeh kama onesu? Because that's like an onus, it's like beyond its control. Why? She'in zedavar karav lios berova itim. That's not common most times. Ela kamo pelahu, it's like a wonderment, something you didn't expect. Meaning what? If you're going up, it's not expected that when you're moving things upwards or when you're climbing up, that things will fall down, right? You're really going upwards. And we could add to that maybe another reason that your focus is going up. You're not expected to be focusing on what's going down while you're moving things up, and therefore, if you happen to fall off a ladder, you would be exempt from galus because it would be an ones. But if one would be lowering a barrel and it falls on his friend and he kills him, or or you were climbing down a ladder and you fell on your friend, or or you were flattening the roof with one of the tools that we described, Rashi and Tosfos, and you fell on your friend, person would go to galus. Again, why would they go to galus? Because the pasuk says v'yapal derech nefila, that a person is chayav galus if it's downward. Sharei, why is that so? Sharei derech nefila matzug rov itim lahazik, because it's the norm that the way things fall, it causes damage. When things are being lowered, things cause damage. Davar karav hulios, and it's something that's very common. Sharei teva hakaved leirid lamata mehira. It's the nature of something heavy to go downward very quickly. The whole lozires atzmo, and since he wasn't careful, b'tiken masav yafa b'shas rida, and he did not ensure that his actions are going to be safe. It wasn't safety protocol to make sure it wouldn't fall when he was lowering it. Yigla, he should go into galus. And similarly, anything else like this, where it's going downward, one would go into galus. One last case. A person was climbing up a ladder, but the rung of the ladder fell out from underneath. And it fell out. And it killed them. One would be exempt from galus. Why would one be exempt from galus? Remember the Gemara left it as a question whether a person would be chayav or whether a person would be pater. Here the Rambam is coming out that it would be pater, it would be exempt from galus. When you want to throw one direction and went the other direction, all these are examples of karav laonis. They are closer to being an onis than they are being mezid, meaning it's more unintentional. You didn't have to expect that was going to happen. So the Rambam seems to paskin that ola b'sulam is we treat derech if it's derech aliyah in the end, even if the rung falls out, it would be an onis and you'd pater from galus. So right now the appropriate exercise would be is to go through this list of cases and to identify what punishment one would get, or really to identify each of these cases. Is it a shogeg, ones, or karav l'mezid? If it's shogeg, obviously they'd go to Nir Miklad. Ones, nothing would happen. And karav l'mezid, we see the Rambam earlier. The Rambam said that you would actually have to fight to live, because the person would be able to kill you. Okay, so in front of you is a copy of the chart now filled out based on the Rambam in Hilchos Rotzeach. I'm just going to go to the next slide. Please look carefully and try to identify the differences between the Rambam and the way that we learn the Gemara. In terms of some of these cases, you'll notice are different. And I noted in the on the chart by reasons, I noted the difference in reason between the Rambam and usually the Ritva in terms of how to understand the Gemara. Again, so just to point out some differences, again, one major difference is this case of Karen Zavis, not turning the corner, where that case, the Ritva, we said, is pater, where you would not go to galus. The Rambam Note the differences in reasoning there. Also note halacha b'dachva gufo. Note as well the difference of miskavin l'tzad zeh b'harach l'tzad acher, and also prat lizrok 2 and when 4. Please take a look if you can at your own notes and the reasoning on your chart. Wishing you guys good luck on this upcoming exam.